Hi, in this video we take a look to learning online. I will tell you about the features of blended learning, about the relationship between technology and human, about comparison between open and structured online learning, and finally about what kind of changes the increasing use of technology brings to teaching and learning. Many higher education institutions are moving towards blended learning. There are different features in this kind of mix between face-to-face learning and online learning. Third, multi-campus learning highlights the features of studying so that groups of students are at different campuses and the teacher is at one campus, but mainly teaching online. Ideally, combining these will result fluent blended learning. In practice, an example of blended learning course could look like this. Starting face-to-face at the campus, followed by individual learning assignments online. Then there could be a face-to-face meeting in the middle of the course so that the group work phase gets a smooth start. Again, an online phase takes place and the groups are preparing their assignments, either online or, if possible, meeting face-to-face too. Finally, the group assignments are presented at the campus in a face-to-face session where discussion takes place and the course feedback and self-evaluation can be discussed. Next, let's have a look at the relationship between technology and human in a more philosophical level. The diffusion of innovation means a process in which technology transfers human life and the ways of operating. First, early adopters start using the technology, and later on the majority starts using too. This development can be called technological determinism, where society's technology determines the development of its social structure and cultural values. For example, the cell phones have revolutionized communication by displacing the land phones in many countries. Another way of thinking highlights the social aspects. Now the use of technology actually changes the meaning of any technological innovation. This can be called social shaping of technology. The text messages, for example, were invented first of all to help engineers to test mobile phone coverage. But suddenly people found this feature very handy too, and again a totally new mode of communication was created, that is text messaging. It is wise to see our relationship with technology evolving all the time. The rapid development in technology changes the way we do things, but also we can define the meaning of any technology by our ways of using it, and that affects engineers, programmers and designers in the further development of their technology. If you take a look on decades of technology entering the world of teaching and learning, there are different features highlighted on each decade. 80s brought computer science to schools as a school subject. Then slowly technology was used more and more to help learning other contents such as geography or mathematics. In 90s this was called computer-supported learning. For example, CD-ROM could help in presenting how a volcano operates, something that would be very difficult to simulate without a computer. As the internet was used more widely, the course environments were taken online. Moodle Rooms is currently one of the platforms used by many higher education institutions. In the first decade of the 21st century, social media tools such as Facebook became more popular. First, there were environments such as Wikipedia and blogs, and finally we have Twitter and other social media around us more and more, also in higher education. At the same time, mobile learning became more popular through tablet computers. Top higher education institutions in the United States, for example, are now providing courses online for thousands of students all over the world. These massive open online courses, or MOOCs, are rapidly changing the access to higher education studies. Mainly these MOOCs mean individual studying with videos and learning assignments, and for example the course evaluation is automated, which means no course personnel is actually going through the assignments you've done, but they are in a format which allows computer program to check how well you have learned. There are loads of ways to learn online. To get some idea about different approaches, I now go through what means open and structured approach. Open learning gives more freedom and agency for students. Learning online can sometimes mean search of relevant information through search engines like Google. Although this type of information search might be part of everyday life, it might cause situations where you can't be sure whether the knowledge you have gained through Googling is accurate. Or your learning might open new areas of discovery which are not anymore in line with the course aims. In another end, we can see structured online learning, like earlier described when we talked about MOOCs. You register for a course and the course environment is open at some point. Then you follow the course timeline without modifications in your course plan. Finally, the course is passed and may be graded too. The third model is something in between the two earlier ones. You enter the course with course overview. The course aims and teaching methods are discussed together. Your studying is guided, but there might be possibility to enter the next part of the course earlier too. You might also be able to suggest to your teacher a modified way of carrying out the course. The final part of this lecture will open up the relationship between teaching and learning results. Usually, teaching is seen as a linear process towards learning results. However, it is crucial to see that teaching only affects purposeful studying, which is a central part of the whole learning process. Only active studying brings about the learning results. Teaching cannot connect to learning results if a student is not involved and also motivated. Teaching is most of all purposeful interaction between teacher and a student or group of students. Learning process is then happening between a student and the materials and tools provided, and it also benefits from the interaction among students. Learning online somewhat changes this relationship. First, changes in teaching take place when digital tools and materials are brought in. Second, the whole learning process changes when students use digital tools and materials in a purposeful manner. Hence, the digital elements are modifying teaching, studying, and learning results too. One example of the change is the need for self-directed orientation. Students must take responsibility of their own and their peers' learning. Different types of help and support is available, however. As a summary, although the development of technology is rapid, we should work on our relationship with the technology, and it can result even better tools in future. Second, online courses need structure, but they can make some parts less dependent on time and place. Third, self-directed orientation to learning is important in online courses. Peers and other support is crucial.